this video, we will go over how to install and connect the accessory strobe and work lights on a striker salter. So let's begin with what is included. In the strobe light kit, you should have both a passenger side and driver's side light bracket, 2 strobe lights, a harness with relay and fuse, a short and long light harness, and a bolt bag. Now that we have what we need, we can go ahead and get started. Let's begin with the strobe light kit. Position the passenger side bracket at the rear edge of the hopper, allowing for a 2-inch gap between the bracket and the hopper. Using the bracket as a template, mark the location of the 3 mounting holes on the hopper. Drill out the holes using a 7/32 drill bit. Install the bracket using the supplied hardware. Repeat this for the driver's side. Feed the electrical connector and leads from one of the LED strobe lights through the large hole in one of the brackets. Install the LED light and gasket to the bracket using the supplied hardware. Repeat for the other side. Now we can install the harness, relay, and fuse assembly. Drill 1/4-inch holes along both sides of the hopper. Push a fir tree mount into each hole. Secure the harness with cable ties. The strobe light kit contains 2 harness assemblies, 56 inches and 72 inches. Determine your harness routing and connect the appropriate harness to each strobe light. Now to make the electrical connections. On the electric and hydraulic spreaders, you will need to cut holes in 2 of the breakthrough plugs and feed the harness into the enclosure. The holes should be sized to form a tight seal around the harness. Note that on gas spreaders, they're a little different, and the process for those units is in the installation instructions. Mount the relay and fuse assembly to the relay and fuse assembly bracket or electrical enclosure by pushing the connector clip on the back of the assembly into one of the holes in the bracket and enclosure. Plug the strobe light harness connectors into the matching connectors on the relay and fuse assembly harness. Plug the relay fuse harness 10-pin connector into the relay fuse assembly. Remove the cover from the isolated stud block and connect the relay fuse assembly red wire to the positive terminal and the black wire to the negative terminal. Connect the single pin terminal from the relay fuse assembly harness, the yellow wire, to the white wire coming from port A on the spreader module. Note, gas and hydraulic spreaders are a little different, and the process for those units is in the installation instructions. Replace the isolated stud block cover. Be careful not to pinch any of the wires. That is the complete install for the accessory strobe light kit. Now let's move on to the installation of the primary work light kit. So let's begin with what is included. In the work light kit, you should have the LED work light, a harness with relay and fuse, a harness assembly, mounting clip and hardware, bundling clips, tree mounts with cable ties, the mounting kit, and cable ties. We will be installing the light on a previously installed strobe light bracket. The work light can be installed in a different location by drilling a 13/32 hole for installing the work light mounting clip. Install the mounting clip in the desired location using the supplied hardware. Install the work light to the mounting clip using the supplied hardware, but do not fully tighten the fasteners at this time. Aim the light in the desired direction, then fully tighten the lock nut. Plug the work light harness into the matching connector on the work light and secure the work light harness. If the work light is being mounted to an existing strobe light bracket, secure the work light harness to the strobe light harness using the supplied cable ties. If the work light will not be mounted to an existing strobe light bracket, then the fir tree mounts will be used to secure the harness. Drill 1/4-inch holes in the desired locations for attaching the fir tree mounts. Now to make the electrical connections. On the electric and hydraulic spreaders, you will need to cut holes in one of the breakthrough plugs and feed the harness into the enclosure. The holes should be sized to form a tight seal around the harness. Note, on gas spreaders are a little different, and the process for those units is in the installation instructions. Mount the relay and fuse assembly to the relay and fuse assembly bracket or electrical enclosure by pushing the connector clip on the back of the assembly into one of the holes in the bracket enclosure. Plug the work light harness connector into one of the matching connectors on the relay and fuse assembly harness. Note, the second relay fuse harness connector is for the optional secondary work light. Remove the cover from the isolated stud block. Connect the red wire from the relay fuse assembly to the positive terminal and the black wire from the relay fuse assembly to the negative terminal on the isolated stud block. Connect the single pin terminal on the relay fuse assembly harness yellow wire to the gray wire coming from port A on the spreader module. Note, gas and hydraulic spreaders are a little different, and that process is in the installation instructions. Replace the isolated stud block cover, being careful not to pinch any wires. On spreader installations with multiple accessories, it may be necessary to notch the side of the isolated stud block cover to accommodate all the wires. That is the complete install of the primary work light kit. Thank you for watching this video on how to install Striker accessory strobe and work light kits.